So this is what the front page of the multiplayer view looks like. You have a friends list, and the way that we did this is really interesting, actually. Like, if I press this button up here, it'll take me to my friends list. And so it throws me up here. And this is my friends list, repeated a hell of a lot of times so that I could make sure that the scrolling will work.
This is the first time I'm seeing any of this too, by the way.
Yeah.
I worked on these layouts, but I haven't seen any of this in action, so that's awesome.
Right.
Can you do that transition animation again?
Yeah, so this goes back. It's kind of cool, isn't it?
Ooh, nice.
It's a lot better than a fade in, fade out, I feel like.
Yeah. It looks that's so smooth. Does it have eased like motion
Yeah,
too?
yeah, it's a sine function. It ends on an ease, yeah. So that's how that works. Nice. But I also wanted to kind of work on the profile view a little bit. So this is the profile view.
Ooh.
Just to go through some of this, you have lots of portraits you can select from. Gabe has portraits like that I haven't even implemented yet and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that gives me that I haven't implemented yet. But these are some portraits for now, which are just the characters. And then we have like a cup of coffee, which I just called Cup of Joe.
Yeah, the idea is that this is just like a way to customize how you look to other players. If anyone's played like League and like Summoner Icons, that might be familiar to them. But yeah, it's just something like, fun.
It doesn't actually influence the game. It's kind of like your profile picture on Facebook. It's actually the exact same idea. Yeah. The character selection is really cool. So these are all the characters that we have up here. There's a fifth one I'm going to be adding in soon, which I'm not going to say anything about. At the bottom, you choose the skin that you want. So we have like a temporary skin for all of them, which is called the recolor skin. And if I selected it, keeps my character, but changes the skin. So my stats will be the same as well. Just so you know, this HP attack and defense, like it is unique for each character, but the values are the same right now because we haven't really been balancing that yet. And ability select is a really important one. So as you play through the single player classic mode, you unlock all sorts of abilities. In single player or you in multiplayer have an account level. So if you get high enough levels, you start unlocking more ability slots. So if I want to select my first ability, like let's say I wanted bombs in my first slot, and then in my second slot I wanted ice, and then in my third one I wanted bullet time.
So that would actually affect the positioning in the game.
Yeah.
On that list. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And the way that it works is that from left to right on the side of your board it goes bottom up.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Block select is really cool because in the game you'll have different block skins that you can buy.
You can mix and match like the dead block from one skin to like the block style of another skin and stuff like that.
So here the 6 main blocks have a different skin than the dead block. You have the shaded pack, which has like the 6 blocks and then the 1 dead block, and that sort of changes how it'll look. So you're able to sort of interchange skins, which I think is kind of cool. So I'll also be showing.
There's more ways to customize your online presence because you know, your enemies and the people you play against will see, you know, what block skin you have.
That's basically how you select block skins, and I'm gonna show you like selecting all the stuff actually affecting the battles that you play in just a moment. So that's your profile and your friends list. So here's your friends list, and here's your profile, and you can go to your friends list from your profile.
Oh, the diagonal move.
Yeah, it does a diagonal
Do that
move.
again,
Yeah.
dude.
So we're gonna go to your profile, and then we'll go to your friends list, and it like shifts upright.
Oh, that's freaking
Very, very cool menu system so far. In the game, you can play competitively. You have an elo that's attached to your account, your Game Center account, and mine on this guy is 800. Every new account starts with 800. So we have a ladder for that. You can access the ladder from the main page up here. You have a rank preview over here, and you can press the ladder button there, or you can do it from in your profile. So I'll just do it from over here. So this is the ladder view. Again, repeated like crazy. So there's like 5 players, which are just sort of the Medley Team. There's something weird going on with this guy. The one I just pressed, I couldn't load their profile because they don't exist.
S75, and that's just a...
That's a fucking alias for some player. I don't know who that is.
S what?
I have no idea. It's so weird. Like, and the weird thing is that this error comes up if they don't exist in the leaderboards. But obviously, if they're here,
then someone's in the leaderboard.
Then that, yeah, see, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't really know what's going on here. I think I need to delete the test data for the current app version and maybe just let it start fresh. I don't know. I just don't know. But we're going to ignore that. You might have noticed that when I pressed one of these, actually, it tried to load their profile. So if I were to press myself, it just doesn't have to do anything.
Right.
It's a local
that's
account.
what we saw before.
And, you know, if you're checking out your friends or something and you wanted to load up somebody, it'll load their profile.
Whoa.
Now, since it's somebody else's profile, we disable the buttons. But this is actually what is going on in their profile. And I can prove this because this phone here actually has what that profile is showing.
Gosh.
So I'm going to do this real time. This phone on the right over here is my personal, like...
Right, this is where we've been watching the demo so far.
And then this is a really old device that I broke a long time ago, but I test on it.
What are you talking about? It looks fine. Totally fine. Don't...
So... Look, what I'm going to do is we're gonna view this profile again just to sort of show you what's going on. So this profile, if you can kind of see up here, it says Medley Studio. This is like the company account, okay? So if I load them up on this other profile, it'll take a second because it has to download the data. Boom, it's there. So it looks the same, right? So naturally what should happen is that if I change something over here, right, it should show up over here like when I go back.
Yeah.
So I'm going to change the character to Mac Tooth, recolored, and select bombs as my first ability, alright? So, I actually haven't tested this and I'm a little nervous, but...
It's like thinking, that loading thing. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, you get a good chance to...
Oh!
And there it is. The rank, there's something buggy going on there. We're just going to ignore that for now.
Probably because of the mystery
guy. We're not that worried about total rank because it's one of the few things we don't have control over. The total rank is actually something completely controlled by how Apple's algorithm and their leaderboards with Game Center, how that sorts players. And for some reason, there's this mysterious player as a result of that called, I can't even... S7534337Z. So
yep. All right. So if that's you, send us a message. If you're not a person though, don't send us a message. That would be creepy.
So here's kind of the last thing I want to show is that if I select like some abilities and like some block skins or whatever, this will actually affect like my in-game battle. Like I can it currently does do that. If you notice here, this is Hourglass, and then Ice, and then Bombs. And I have the crazy, overly saturated
temp block
skin. Yeah. So, this is not really something that is working as intended right now, but this is sort of like we can just play the game if we ever want to. But you can see that it selects everything correctly. It even has Romp selected, which was the character I selected. And it has my blocks and... Hourglass, Ice, and then Bombs. So the order you select them does matter. Yeah, so
that's all
awesome. We're really close to being ready to release the beta, guys. So yeah.
And regardless of where or what state and like what's in the beta when it comes out, we will be like updating the beta as we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Like that's as we're moving forward to like the actual release.
The whole point of the beta is to kind of move through the final steps of development with a community. So, single player doesn't work. Why doesn't single player work? Because we haven't really got to the point where we're prepared to say, okay, this is exactly what single player should be, for sure, no doubt, and it's going to be successful. We want the community to be a part of that.
We're starting with multiplayer again, just because that's where our focus is, and that's where we think people will have the most fun, and it's also the thing we can't really test on our own that well.
Like, we can test single player all day, but multiplayer is really hard to test with 2, 3, 4 people, and then our friend group. Let's see if my brother has an account. Nope, doesn't, because you can have a Game Center friend that doesn't play the same games as you.
And then you can go say, hey, I noticed you don't have the game installed. What's the deal? Go get it. It's free.
Go get it. It's like free.
Like, your life is not any worse by having it on your phone.
Alright, so I just deleted everything. Alright, this is the fourth time I've tried to do this. I'm not gonna pretend or try to say anything else. We're just gonna wrap it up.
But our beta is October 15th, and we're submitting it for review 3.5 weeks early, so it'll definitely, probably might. There's a small chance
probably will
that it will be out on time, and you should play it.
Yep. But yeah, that's what we've been working on. And next week we might have Ed back. Actually, he said he wanted to get behind the camera again. So
oh yeah, our cinematographer.
We haven't seen our little Eddie boy around here.
He's a little spicy, boys.
We'll get him back.
Unlike all of our videos, unsubscribe. Don't
This
follow
time-
us on Twitter.
This time, don't go to the Tumblr. Don't go to the Instagram.
Definitely don't.
We don't have time to check that right now. So
don't sign up for the beta.
If you are subscribed, just unsubscribe.
Also, guys, we just got a new leak of the iPhone 7s. This is a brand new phone. You can tell it's very new.
Yeah.
This is my this is actually the leaked footage from the new Apple commercial for it. It's like bow chicka wow wow. Oh yeah, that's a new looking phone. Oh baby.
Oh